Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Gradle. Gradle is a popular open source build automation tool that makes working on large projects easier. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Gradle will be absolutely clear. But before we begin, let me inform you few things about us. DevOps School is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
So, question is, what is Gradle? What is Gradle? So,
it is a build tool.
Yeah.
And also used for dependency management, right?
Yes. Very few push classes happen in the Gradle actually.
Okay.
There is no demand actually in the market. Okay, so let's get started. So first question is, what is Gradle? So as you suggested, it's a build tool, but much more than that. So it has a capability to do the build. It has a capability to do the packaging. It has a capability to do testing, documentations, and all. The feature is very similar to Maven here, but it is different from Maven. How and what sense we'll discuss. Yes, it's a build tool. It's a tool which can do build, pack, test, doc, reports, and many things actually. Okay, now Gradle from Gradle only. Gradle from Gradle. Now, Gradle is basically for project which is in Groovy. Okay, so but here Groovy is basically from Java. So Groovy is a DSL language of Java. So basically, if you look at this relationship, because Gradle for Groovy and Groovy is written in Java, Groovy is a DSL language of Java. So basically, Gradle for Java. So Java, Groovy, and many things. So it's very popular. Java is very popular programming languages. So yes, it is a tool which can do the build package, test document. It is from the Gradle. Okay, for the Groovy Java, it can be used. Java is a cross platform, so you can install it anywhere. Again, it has a built-in package management system. It has a dependency management system also, which is very powerful. So dependency management system, and in all these features, which is much more powered and empowered than Maven. So this is a small intro of Gradle. Again, why we need a Gradle? That is a question. So here, first reason is build and CI/CD automation. Okay, CI automation, not CD. Sorry, CI automation. So that's one of the reason which you do that build automation, CI automations, and all. And another important reason which you can say, and is a declarative and cannot help you to define cannot define a process. When I say process here, let's try to understand in this way. Let's say you want to do the write a script in Ant, and which will do the build, package, test, this, that, a lot of things. But the logic and flow, pseudo code, you have to decide yourself only. Okay, in Ant, because it's a declarative. You declare everything, and then you have to think. If you're experienced programmer, then you can write a good Ant script. But if you're not, then again it's very difficult. So process you have to define, not like is defined with Ant. So it's completely declarative. Whereas too many lines, many lines are needed for the coding. So uh, again, when you have a build XML, which is an Ant, which is a too many lines, again it's not easy to extend, maintain, readability, and all the stuff like that. So these are the reasons. Now Maven is a procedural language. Now, procedural language means here you don't have to do anything. You just call the tool from the plugins, and then everything will be done by Maven. But here, if you want to declare something, see that if you want to declare something, it's not possible. So here, declarative is also not possible. So it's a procedural and only follow a defined process. Here in Ant, you cannot define a process and only follow a defined process. So there's a midway we want, and few less lines of code than Ant. But we need some better tool. We need a tool which has we need a tool where you can not only need to declare when you need it, plus process also, plus defined process also. We need a mix of capability. Okay, so if we combine these two functionality, declaration and procedural, then we need a kind of a tool which can have a very less amount of less code, more understanding, and stuff like that. So here, that way, which is the solution? So the solution is, in this case, Gradle. Again, it is for design for the Groovy, and then Groovy is a Java DSL, so this thing it works. So now we discuss a little bit of it. What is Gradle and why we need a Gradle? Now let's understand. We need to understand how to install Gradle. Now, installation process are too many. It depends on the platform. So, installation process again are too many. So, if you look at this here, installing a Gradle, you can install the Gradle from the Gradle.org. Using GVM also, you can install a Groovy manager. Now, this is the many tools are there. CPU is there. Boot is there, many tools. Curl also you can use it to install. Junction also you can use. So many tools are available which can be used to install the Gradle. But in today's session, what I'm going to do, I'm going to install Gradle through command line. So what I'm going to do, let's look at this manual way. So Gradle download. Okay, I'm going to install the Gradle manually. Here, if you look at this is the HDK, and here install manually. So I'm installing manually, and that is through Kubernetes. So I have downloaded 5.5 version, which is right now. Yeah. So this is one baby which is I think to you. Which will help. Which will create a benefit. Yeah. So this is a Gradle. I got it. Okay. And here I'm going to store in a C drive. Now I typically call all the tools here. I think I have a Gradle already, but this is the old Gradle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace copy all this tool to the old version, because just a copy paste operation. So I'll move that to the old version, so that way I'm not going to use it. I don't remember. I think I used long back this Gradle. Okay, now this is the 5.5, which is the recent, and unzip it. Now I copy entire thing in the directory called Gradle. Okay, that's all. And I will delete this directory because it's empty and it's not needed anymore. Okay, so now you see that here, this is the I copy at the certain location, and now what I will do, I will go and set this variable into my path. Actually, I have done it already, but I'll show you. So it will come in the recordings. So here environment path, go to the path which is path environment variable, and here you add it somewhere. So must be, see, it's already here, so I'm okay with it. So now after that you got it, and you go to the command line and type Gradle, Gradle, and just verify whether the installation is done or not. So you see that Gradle is installed 5.5. Okay, again here is the highlight of this release, so you can create a some of the informations are here. And okay, so now it's initializing. So basically here, what has happened in this directory where I run the Gradle, they tried to look for the project, but it was not there. Nothing was there, so they exited it. So this is the stuff. Now, once you type, just copy this stuff and put it in the notepad. Okay, so this is a manual way to install the Gradle. Now many commands are also there. So what I'm doing right now, I'll go to the D drive and mkdir create one directory called Gradle. Okay, and again Gradle, and installation is done. But see here, this time there is no project actually. The project name must not be empty. So here project should, and here if you look at this, when I run first time, they started looking for the project. See here, starting a Gradle daemon, which got started. Now subsequently build will be faster. So now your daemon is running Gradle daemon in a background, and initializes welcome to Gradle. Now this is the stuff. To run a build, you have to run Gradle and then task. See, now you need to understand what is a task. But to a list of available tasks, run Gradle task. These commands. To run a health, you have to run this. To run other things, you can just check it out. So now this is the way you can start the Gradle. So now you need a project file. So here the error is I got this one, and I'm storing it all this stuff also. So whenever you're stuck. Now the important thing is project name must not be empty. Set the root.project name or adjust the include statement. So the directory where currently I'm running here is no Gradle actually. So you see that here there is no files are there, nothing is there. So that's the reason you got this error. See here, and you see build failed, again Gradle, and it was empty directory, build successful, but here this directory got created, and now this is just environment which is to check the, it's a kind of initialization we can say. Okay, so now this is the installation process. Now I got it done. Now next thing which I will do is understand the Gradle programming. So now let's understand this Gradle programming. So Gradle is made up from the plugins. Okay, now what are the plugins? So basically there are two plugins. Okay, One plugin is core plugins. Another plugin is community plugin. External plugin you can call it. Okay, external plugins. Now these plugins has a certain feature, and you don't have to write too many commands. You see here, less lines of code, less code. Using that you can install the get the plugins. So now which are the plugins which is available? So just go to Gradle plugin and click on it. Here you have it. See this. This is a tutorial. I think I hit the wrong. Here plugins.gradle.org, and here this is the external plugins, by the way. Okay, this is the one which is external plugins, and I'm looking for the core plugins. Let's click on the documentation. Oh. Plugin reference. So this is the core plugins. You see that here, plugin here. So see here, core plugins provided by Gradle itself. So this URL is a core plugins. Now any feature, in a simple way, any feature which you want to see, that comes from the plugins. So here you have a core plugins, here you have external plugins. Now this is a very vast. It's completely depends on your need. It's completely need basis. Now you see that if you use the Java plugins, provide support for building any type of Java project in Java library, Java platform, and a lot of plugins you have it. So now this is the stuff which you have it. Now any features which you're looking for, that look for the plugins. Now then understand uh, Gradle project file. Gradle project file. Okay, Gradle project file. So now understanding the Gradle project file is very important. So now in a Gradle project file, what would be there? So now for that we need to understand Gradle type. Okay, Gradle type. Now Gradle type. Okay, Gradle project file has type. Understand that, very simple way to understand type. Now what is Gradle project file has what type? What type? What is type? So now let me show you what is a type. So here you see that Gradle project file has a type of what? Tasks. Now what are the type of task? What are the type of tasks? So here you can see that here. See core types. Okay, core types here. Type of task. Core type. So these are the core type. See core type, type. You have publishing types, container types, a lot of things you have it. Okay, build cache type, and here you have an input normalization type. You don't get lost actually, but understand this. I'm just helping you to understand the skeleton types. Okay, and here task type. Okay, so here you have a core types. Sorry, task type, and go down and say reporting type. and these are the Eclipse related types. And here, this is the Eclipse idea task type. Again, see that what is the scale of it. You have it a lot of it. Visual Studio types. Just try to get the idea of it. What is it types? Effect transform type, native toolchain type, GCC, Clang, and all, and C++ component types, and last two. And here, this one. So here, you look at this. This is your, so here, Gradle project file has type of tasks. Okay, what is this? Let's put it this way. Type of following. Okay, these are the following, out of which core types is the most important one, and these all are add-ons. These all are add-ons. Okay, these are the types. Now in types, let's go and talk about the core type, which is the most important one. And here you see core type. Core type has project. Now you see that this is your project, and this is the skeleton. So see here. This document should have been more improved actually. So let me put it type, and let's talk about two type, project and task. Okay, see here. You have a project, and project has a task. Understand this?
Okay.
Project task. Now that way you can get it as many wanted, but we'll come back to this. Now publishing type is done, container type is done, task type here. So here task type. See here. See the skeleton. Project file has a following types, out of which four types is a project. Project is having task. Task is having task. And from here, tasks can be your custom task, or the task which you can create, or task which is coming from task type. Now, this is the skeleton having the file. This is the Gradle project file, which is usually you will find that builder.gradle. Okay, this will be having this skeleton. Gradle build file will be having project. Project will be having tasks. Task, it can be your custom task or task type, which you have it here. You see all this type. Okay. Okay. So now let's get started. So far so clear.
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay. So now let's get started the task. So I need some support from. So now look at this task. See here. Gradle has a build file. Typically the build file is builder.gradle, and this contains, the build file contains task and plugins and dependencies and properties. Okay. So now this build file, one here, it can contain build.gradle may contain following task, okay, plugins, code dependency, and property. So now what is a task? Look at this. This is the task here. Now what is a plugins? Here I did talk about the plugins. The plugins. Okay. What is the dependency. So if one thing is dependent on another, you set the dependency and property. So this is, you have to write a build.gradle. Okay. So now with this, let's move on. Now, so here, this is the one of the build.gradle. Here you have a build.gradle, the file which is called, and you have a task. Remember, build.gradle has a task. So here, one of the example, the task, the one which you can see, it's a custom task, and the task name is hello. And inside the hello, there is a task action which is called to last. And then println is the task type. Println will display the task type. So let me show you the println. It should be here. Not here. It's the method. Okay. So this is the way you can check it out. Now the question is, what is a build Gradle task? So basically here the Gradle tasks are domain specific language. Domain specific language means you can just declare it and use it. So it's a kind of domain specific language, less programming you have to do. Now each task has a life cycle. You understand that? Each task has a life cycle, and the property, either it can be a Gradle properties or custom properties. Okay, so this is the stuff. Now look at this, the task in detailed. You see, task is having life cycle. Okay, so what are the life cycles? So here it is an initialization life cycle, configuration life cycle. I mean, one life cycle but has a different phases: initialization phase, configuration phase, execution phase. Now, task has a life cycle, initialization, configuration, and an execution phase, and then it has a property and it has an action. Typically, two action is inbuilt: first action and last action. You can have a dependencies also. So these are the four things which you have to look at this. How to define a task in build.gradle. So there's one project which you created, and the task is project dot task and task one. So this is the way one to create a and define the project. Now there's a way to also, you see, though don't have to mention the project dot directly. You can mention the task. So Gradle supports that as well. And third way, you see that also one of the way to declare the task is that one. Fourth way also is there. So now if you declare, this is the custom way to declare the task. The task, you can use it core task also. That is the way. Now you write a Gradle task, then you will see the all the tasks. So now let's look at this. So here, use. Let me copy this. I'm copying here and creating one file, build dot Gradle. Yes, and you see here I have so many tasks. This is a comment. So I have declared 4 tasks, by the way. Here you have 4 tasks, and one more thing you should copy, correct this. Done. So now you see that here when I type how many tasks you have, so Gradle in my build file, so Gradle tasks, and now it is running. See, configuration, see that it was so fast but you did not notice, but each, remember now, each task will have a life cycle initialization, configuration, and execution. Okay, now it ran so fast, like each task processed through that, and then now you see that here. How many tasks you have? See here. So
5
I just
tasks.
ran here. Now you see here. These are the help tasks. Okay, and here you see init and wrapper, and where's my task? All. Very fun. See, other task, here you got all these tasks. Task 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now you see that here, this task which I defined, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the way you decide the task. The task has what? Task has a life cycle, task has a property, task has an action, task can have a dependency. So this is the way. So now if you see that here, now task may have a description also. So now, right now the task is not having description. So you can put the description like this. So you can put the description like this. Now what I'm doing right now, each task which I have declared, let's say task 1, and here this is task 1. Okay. Now I describe this task. This is the one task. Here task 2, task 3, task 4. Now task 1, 4. Now I declare the task. This one is done. Now you see that. Now you'll get all the description. See, these are the tasks which is the one task. You got the description. Now task will have something which is called property. How can you declare the property? That is also possible. So let me show you. So property you can define in the many ways. Typically use the def, okay, but it can be like this also. Okay. So def is the way to define property, but you can try without the def also. Let's say here my name. Hemant, can you mute person out there because it will impact your quality of video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name here, and here Rajesh Kumar. So def age, and here you can put it anything. Now this is the way, and now $sign you can check it out. So now how to use it? So you can use the print len functionality. So print len, which is here. Okay. So to describe this, so here print len, only print len 1, and here this age, instead of saying this is task, my name age, $name, and this is task 1. Okay, so now I declare copy, and here I go and run it one more time. So there's some problem here. Here it says spelling mistake. Oh, see, this is a space error. There's a more error here. This is the error. You have to check it out, syntax very carefully. And now you see that right now you're not able to see all the projects, all the tasks, so you can do hyphen all, and now you see that here this is the task you have. Now task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. Now I want to execute task 1. So how to do that? Let's execute task 1. So Gradle tasks, and here task 1. Okay, and I'm calling only Gradle task 1, and see my name is Rajesh Kumar. It was having only print statement, right? So you just printed it. So now this is the way you can define the task. Now if the task will become more larger, then you can put it this way also. Curly braces. Now this everything is coming in this. So now there's a issues in there. Okay, so it's a mistake. Task 6. Should be curly braces. And now you're done. So now you see that here I did define one build.gradle. I defined the task, multiple ways to define a task. Task has a description and task has a some variables, and then printing that variable. Now doing the real task. Real task means what? Building, copying, something like this. So for that, you before that getting into that, remember you have to understand this one, and that is called task has a action. So basically there is a two action, each task has it. One is like a first action, which is called do first, and then we call it second action, which is called do last. So now you see that here do last. So first thing, let me do one thing. Let me show you the program. Here I say do last first. Okay, and here I am writing the print line, and here I am typing this is do last. Okay, and then there is one more method which is action, which is called do first. This is a built-in method. Now this is a do first. Now remember, here again I told you each task has a life cycle of 3 phases: initialization phase, configuration phase, and execution phase. So now if you see that here again task 1, I am executing it. There is some spelling syntax error, and that syntax error are here. Everything is correct. See here, this is do last, this is do first, and this is here. So correct. What is error? What went wrong? could not find do last for arguments. Do last.
Do last.
Aha.
So first, it should she do first.
No. That will be in any format, any flow. But you can write anything. But I think it was a spelling syntax issue. Now you see that here. I with the intention only I wrote do last first, do first. Here the thing is this should be capital. Okay, I just wrote the wrong way. So now you see that do last I wrote first, do first I wrote last. But if you look at this here, see it first and then. So no matter which flow you will write, it will be correct. So now this, so ultimately now let's get into the second phase. So I told you here, task. So build.gradle has a task and property and all stuff like that. So task has a life cycle of 3 phases: initialization phase, configuration phase, execution phase. Now what is the difference between these? We'll cover in some time. And build.gradle has a task, has a property also. You can define the property at the task level also, and has an action which is called first action, last action. Now it can have a dependency also. Now what is the difference between each action? These action, look at this here. Okay, so I'll just grab water, some water. Okay, so now task has a life cycle of the three phases. What happens? The task when it is in initialization phase, that can be used to configure multi-project builds. As of now, only I am having one project build, but when you declare something at the multiple project, then initialization phase will be used. Now configuration phase, what will happen? Configuration phase only that the code which will execute that which is not in action. So in the configuration phase, only those things will be executed. For example, description, print lane, and all stuff like that. Okay. Just Aditya, tell me. Sorry about this. So now in the during the configuration phase of that particular task, only the things which will execute, which is not in any action, like a do first and do last. The execution phase, it will be executing do first and do last. That is a whichever way you write. So this is the phase information which you have it. Now coming back to this, now we have understood the skeleton of it. Let me do a little bit of recap. Now Gradle will help you to do the build and patch, test, this, that, and all. And it is also has a two capability. It is having declarative capability, and when you use a task inside that, then it will become a procedural capability. So it has a both capability. Remember, it has a life cycle and phases. It has a both capability. So compared to Ant and Maven, it is a very less code, and you can do much more good things. Now, Gradle is we have also covered how to install Gradle and all. Then Gradle is based on the plugin concept. So you have two kind of plugin: external plugin and core plugins. So these are the plugin references which you can find it out, which are the core plugin and which is the external plugins. Now Gradle has one build file which is called build.gradle. Now the build.gradle will will have the certain skeleton. The skeleton could be a core types. I'm not talking about the publishing types right now or all other types, but core types. Core types will have a project. Project will be having tasks and number of tasks. This task can be your custom task or task which you have it from the task type. Okay, so for example, in the task type, if you look at this, let's talk about copying the things. I want to copy a file from one place to another place. So see here, just copy this example program, and here under this, this is a task. Okay, sorry, this is another task. Okay, see here, task copy docs type is equal to copy. Okay, now this task name is copy docs, type is equal to copy. Now from where to here, where? So now let's do one thing, some fake directory you create, src, no, just a second. So directory here src and test. Okay, so now here you see I got this src, and here I look copy the java, let's say my main.java. Okay, main.java, it will be in src. So java. Now this is the one fake file I'm just creating. Let me feed some content also, and then fake file I created and put it in src. Now you see that here in destination that file is not there, right? So now I'm going to write build.gradle using the copy type task. Source is here and destination is dest. Simple. Is it very difficult? No. So now run it. Now here, which is the task? First, let's find out the list of tasks, so that way we can run it. Now you see the list of tasks has not come because all. And now list of tasks, there's one task which is called copy docs. So now I want to perform the copy docs, and here that is doing, and something has happened. See a configuration. See configuration project. Remember each task has a three phases, a life cycle of the three: configuration, initialization, execution. So one execution has happened, one actionable item, so one execution has happened. Okay, now you want to check it out what has done. So let's check it out. Destination, you got the main.java. So here like this, what you want to do, you want to do something else. So let's say type. So here you see you can create a jar file, you can copy Java doc file, Java compile file, and stuff like that. Delete, you want to delete something. So after this copying, you want to delete the source code. So let's have one delete task. So here now delete task. Now which folder? Delete one file src, and file name is main.java. Okay, so this will be deleted. Very simple. So now let's run it. So here, and here, what is the name of this? Make petty. Why did I name it that one? I should have named it something else. Make petty. So here, like this, you can copy, do the things, and now let's check it out. That directory, see, src got deleted. So now this is the way you can write your pseudo code and declare everything whatever you want. And here you have so many tasks. You see task type, which is these all types are available, and you can do a hell lot of things. But this is something which you are writing. What about something which, because here I told you Gradle is a procedural also. So what about those stuff? So that will come from the plugins. So now if you recall the plugins concept here, now go for the plugins, which is I'm going to the core plugins. Okay, that will come from the plugin. So here you see, here you have a core plugins. Okay, now a lot of plugins are there. Now each plugins has a different use cases. If you see, Java plugin provide a support for building any type of Java project. Any type of Java project, that's wonderful. So let's try it out. So here click on it and apply plugin. Just you put this here in the build.gradle. That's all. And now you did, that's all. So this you got the plugins. ID is equal to Java. You could write like this also, apply Java plugins like this also. So any way you can write. Now see, these many tasks are there. So plugin has a task. Each plugin has a task. Okay. Now how do I find out? Look at it. Here I put it up, clear the screen. And now plugin has a lots of inbuilt tasks. Now for that you don't have to write. Maybe I have done some mistake. So plugin, it is error. Let me see. It says build file only build script and other plugin script blocks are allowed before plugins block. Okay, so it says only build script and other plugins. Sage 4, line number 4, which is here. Only build script and other plugins script block allowed before plugins block. No other statements are allowed.
You have to
So
remove that. After plugins, you have a dot.
is it?
Oh.
No, that's a space. Okay, so use this way. Apply, just a second. These apply options also you can try, just like Gradle, Hello World, Java plugin. So now you see that here build.gradle is here, and you can try this one also, same line but the different way to represent. So apply plugin Java. So now let's
Okay.
this way. Now you see the Java plugin also will having lots of tasks. Now you see here, go up and you see here, build a task. Say I did here. Now build task. These are the Java related plugins. Okay. Now what you want to build, you want, or it's like a Maven, remember Maven. So now I declare also, I did my way also, but now you are doing Maven way also. So Ant way also, Maven way also. Now you see build, assembly, classes, clean, jar. So for that you need to have a skeleton. What it states, if you read it, here it states the Java plugins add Java compilation along with the testing and building capabilities. It serves the basic of many other JVM and stuff like that. So I need to have a one Maven based project in that directory. So what I can do, I can download one Maven based project. Let me check here. I need this directory. Okay, I need this directory. So download pip src. This directory is a Java standard directory. Okay, and remember in the Maven also you have a same thing similar. It's the place where it stored the source code. So now I just download it and extract it, and I don't need a full directory. I just need a src directory. Okay, that's done. I'll copy here src. Now you see got copied. Now you will do build. So type Gradle build. That's a task name. Inbuilt task in the plugin called Java. So Gradle build, and you see configuring happen, compiling happen. There's a see compilation has happened, but there's a different error. It's a compilation failure that JDK and stuff like something is missing, but it has done it. So that's a code issues. And here it created one directory called build, which was not earlier. So let's do one thing. I will download my source code, which will not fail. I thought it will be hello world, but actually it's not hello world. Actually it is hello world. Let me do that. Okay. Let me undo the stuff. We should fix that. So now that we can play with the dependency also. Okay. So now here, so here you have a source. Let me build one more time and let me show you error. See here. Okay. Now see the Java is compilation got failed. It tried to compile src main Java hello world, but it required to compile. It required this particular package, which is not there in your environment right now. So what to do? In that case, you have to have a dependencies in Java. So what it can do? Let me add the dependency. So go to the bot libraries file, which you get it here. So here you can copy the dependency here. See, okay. So now you can add a dependency in your Java file, and now I added the dependency. Now this dependency I need it, which will do the things, rest of the things. So before compilation, first it will download the dependency and then do the build. Okay, so this is the way. Again, see, there's some problem. It says could not resolve all files for configuration and cannot resolve this one. No repository is defined. So basically, this particular Java jar file will be downloaded. That's okay. See, it will be downloaded, but from where it will be downloaded? That that Gradle is not sure about it. So Maven has a one inbuilt repository. Remember what was that inbuilt repository from where it used to download?
One repository.
Central repository, right?
Yeah, central repository.
So that's the only one repository which is central. But Gradle supports many kind of repository. Now the question is, how can you set the repository? Now let me set the repository, and you see this is the way you set up the repository. Maven Central. Okay, I'm setting up Maven Central. It can be many more also. So now let's get it. Now again build it. Based on the error we are doing the work, and now you see that it has compiled. Okay, and see downloading the things is done, extracting everything has been done, initialization, configuring, and finally execution. Okay, and now you see this directory, which you can see here. You got the build where you had all the task file. This is a source code, and this is the build.dat. So now you have to keep playing like this. So ultimately, you know, you have project has a task. Task can be two types, custom and task type, which I showed you. Custom task you can write your own, but a hell lot of tasks are there in the Gradle. And task have a plug task, build.gradle may contain task, again dependency and property. And all these things here, property, plugin, dependency, repository, tasks. And task you may have and many. Each task you have a description and action and which is running in a life cycle. So both the capability is mixed with the Gradle, and that is one of the reason it makes Gradle so powerful. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the kind of one session. One more sessions I'll have it. So just practice it whatever you have covered so far. And then after that, I'll talk about how to manage the multiple project and how to experience the multiple different scenarios and stuff like that. Okay.
Sure, Rajesh.
So just after this call, I'm going to upload this video, and you have a Gradle access or not?
Gradle access I don't have.
Okay, I'll just inform my team to grant you access, and accordingly we'll follow up with the emails also. Okay.
Okay, Rajesh.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll set it up some next meeting, maybe tomorrow or day after or something. And then we'll
Sure.
do practice.
Okay. Yeah. Any other notes or something to follow?
Yeah, I'll share with you all these notes, whatever I created just now.
No. Any PDFs or any book or something?
Yeah. Something will be there. I'll share with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.